Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella.
Hello there, welcome to Alberto's La Bella Cuccina. Today we have a great Tuesday, we have a great guest, but in the meantime I'd like to say hello to Fresno with all my friends. It's very hot in there, so come on over and visit Pacific Grove. And also I'd like to say hello to my friend and get better, Mr. Doc Fisher. Doc, get well. Laura Fisher, please do get well. And come and visit us, okay? And my friend Jeb White, recover from your back, okay? Come out and play tennis with me, okay? So have a great day. And today I'm having a great time, and my guest, Mr. Kevin Phillips, restaurateur of the Pacific Grove area, and the new manager and restaurateur of the Beach House. Welcome, Mr. Phillips.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to be here,
now,
Chef.
you have so many stories to share with us about the, especially when you were building that house, which is now the Beach House, which didn't change much.
Yeah, no,
They changed the name, which is actually it rhymes with it, the Beach House.
That's
which
right.
is very good.
Yeah, it's a fresh new start for
Yes,
a magical
yes.
location.
It sure is. It took a long time and a lot of money to rebuild that place, since a lot of people didn't touch that place for 67 years.
That's right. It's a classic construction story. What took twice as long and cost twice as much.
Yeah, people don't realize you had to go all the way from the bottom up, right, to strengthen the building.
That's right. The building was in far worse condition than
Right.
anybody realized. There were 3 complete foundations had to be dug out. The roof was barely attached. So as we got into it, we realized how big of a job it really was.
It sure was, yes. So you had to buy new equipment, or you used that same equipment?
Everything's new. There was nothing salvageable
You
at all.
You couldn't all the refrigeration you had and all the stoves you have.
Everything had to go. It's all new.
Wow. So everything is beautiful out there in the kitchen.
It is. It's a beautiful, sparkling new kitchen and a great new restaurant. Again, in a magical setting.
So now how many people can you accommodate there?
We have 100 seats inside, and we have a very popular heated patio that seats 32.
100. Wow.
Yeah,
And plus your bar.
in the bar.
You're welcome to eat at the bar, of course.
Yes, we serve full dinners at the bar. It's small, about 8
it's
seats.
small, but it's nice.
But it's been a very
People that
popular place
sometimes-
to have dinner as well.
They're by themselves. They like to have a little bite,
Yes.
like a little salad or anything you like. You can eat at the bar too.
That's right. The whole menu's available there. Yes.
Yeah, good bartenders, good service. So what else do you need?
Yeah.
What else I was going to ask you? You come from a very long background of the restaurants. You work at Club 19
That's right.
in the era of Mr. Bain was there.
That's right. Yeah.
He was the general manager, or was he a maitre d'?
He was the manager there. It was the greatest time, I think, for the Club 19, from
Club
the
19.
mid-'70s to the mid-'80s. After that, I was the manager of the Cypress Room, which is now Stillwater Bar and Grill. That was my first manager's job before I went to become part of the opening crew at Carmel Valley Ranch.
The ranch.
We opened Carmel Valley Ranch in 1987.
What was the manager, the name of that, John something?
Cal Jepson was the general manager.
No. But there was another guy. The reason I'm saying this is because I played tennis there for
Oh, yeah.
the last 15, 20 years. And I love that area
It's
there.
beautiful. Yeah, it's a
I love the
beautiful
ranch. They have the clay courts. They're incredible. And they have a beautiful stadium court.
place. Yes.
And were you there? You were
Yes.
there when the stadium court was in there. And then there was an additional grass court. But then, to my surprise, they put a tent in there for banquets. And they destroyed that beautiful place.
I think that was after my time.
Yes, he probably was.
Yeah.
Because it was unbelievable to play grass there. It was the only grass court in the area.
Yeah.
And the two clay courts, plus a lot of others. But I visited more of the clay. At my age, but I mean the clay is great.
Yeah.
I love the clay. I love the Beach and Tennis Club,
Yeah.
which has got 2 clay courts
Another-
and a
another
stadium
beautiful
court.
place. Right.
That's the only places that they actually stay nice and beautiful. Which
Yeah.
is now I don't belong there because they took my stadium out, which everybody wants to play there.
Yeah.
I mean the players I play with, they don't want to play any other place but the stadium court.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so how long were you at the ranch?
I was there 9 years, and
Wow.
I planned to have a career in the hotel business.
Right.
And they approached me about becoming a hotel general manager, and
Yeah.
that's when I realized I really didn't want to do that. It was
time.
kind of a sobering reality at the time.
Many.
But I pursued a career in independent restaurants, and
Right.
that's when I went to work with John Pisto.
So that
And
was your very first experience in the
it was
restaurant?
in the independent restaurant
Uh-huh.
realm, yes. Oversaw the renovation and relaunch of the whaling station,
Okay.
and then took over as general manager and managing partner of the 4 restaurants.
For restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh, what, which is Abalonetti and the others.
And Domenico's on the wharf and
Uh-huh.
Paradiso on Cannery Row, and did that for 11 years
Paradiso.
until he sold Abalonetti and Domenico's in 2007.
To other person. Which is,
Right.
okay. Now, I remember when I came to this area that it was where Paradiso used to be called a restaurant called Mermaid,
Briefly, Mermaid Bistro, that's right.
right? I've just got here, and nobody knew any. I didn't know anybody here. As you know, I just came in one day to see Murph and play tennis after the Valley. But it was a man that told me that they needed a chef at the Mermaid, so I went in there. But I got dressed, I put my tie and my, and I talked to this lady. I said, I work in my own restaurants and all that. You probably need me to help you. He said, well, I never seen you any chef dressed up. Well, that's the way I come to interviews. So we went downstairs. They had a walk-in, and they had some osobuco in there at the refrigerator. I said, you want me to? I work until 5. I'll come over and make those osobucos for you so you can sell them tomorrow. She couldn't believe me. So I never went back.
Yeah.
But then after a while, they had a problem with some people, the 2 French people that were deported or something like that.
That's right.
And then that was it.
That's when John Pisto ended up with it. It was offered to him, and at the time he really didn't want to do a 4th restaurant, but it was a very attractive
An offer
opportunity.
right there.
That's right.
And that the hotel brings business into the restaurant
Yes.
at all? Yes?
Yeah, yes.
In the morning, during the daytime and all that? Yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice high-end clientele there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, I believe he's not going to be there for too long.
No, I think the lease ends later next year sometime, I believe.
Or this year, I think.
Yeah, maybe this year.
That belongs to Mr. Balistreri, no?
That's right. That's right.
It's like you two are competing to buy all of the restaurants.
Well,
all
they're
the
great. Yeah, they're great opportunities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, what else is going to be for you next?
Well, we're
The Rappas, right?
that's right. The restaurant at the end of the wharf. It's known as Rappas. It's been there since I believe 1952. The family's retiring,
Right.
and my partner Jim Gilbert is in the process of purchasing it, and we're going to build a contemporary seafood restaurant there.
Wow, seafood now. Wow.
That's right. It's an incredible location. The
Right.
view is spectacular because it's out beyond the marina, and there's no views like it on the wharf.
Indeed, yeah.
It's
You
beautiful.
have to walk a little bit, but you will find that it's one of the best locations in town.
Well, it's great to have a walk before and after a nice
yeah,
meal.
yeah.
And there's a lot to see. It's great doing business on the wharf. We know about the wharf that's different from Cannery Row or any place else in Monterey is that when people have guests visiting, they bring them to the wharf. And that's what makes it such a fun family, local environment.
Yeah, it's a little feisty in that area sometimes.
It can be. It's very competitive.
Indeed, with the other people there trying to get this and that and the other.
That's right. It's very
Yeah.
competitive, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing business
sometimes
down
it's
there.
not that much fun when you when you face other type of people in that area.
Yeah.
I know. I heard about it. And so, what is that you enjoy most? What would you think about old cuisine and new cuisine? Would you add some of that to your restaurants? Like for example, the Beach House. Now you have small. You have the nice portions, which I was there.
Yeah.
And you think of having a little small, like tapas appetizers or something.
Well, yeah, we love the idea of having appetizers, things that people can share. The food overall, sort of a comfort quality to it, food that people are familiar with, but maybe with a little bit different twist.
Right.
And some delicious diversity in the dishes is very important, and served in a fairly informal atmosphere.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. And in that restaurant, you have incredible chefs working in there.
Yes.
And I remember before there was the Beach House with Julio Ramirez,
That's
and
right.
you had Chef Jake.
Some legendary
which
people work there.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed. So now that there are legends in there. Jake is now at Dorado,
that's right.
and he used to be the super chef at the lodge.
Pebble Beach, yes.
Did you work with him at all?
No, I was after my time, but I did see him at Cooking for Solutions though at the
Did you?
aquarium this year. It was
Oh,
fun catching up with
I
him.
didn't know that. I didn't know. Every time he comes home, he brings Cat Cora. Cat Cora comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
see me. And all the chefs, they have a good time
Oh, that's great.
in that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. What do you think of the aquarium?
Well, the aquarium is a wonderful place,
Awesome.
and I'm a big fan of Cindy Paulson too, and to
Oh.
see her bring her restaurant there, and I think was a tremendous addition to the aquarium experience. And again, I've been a fan of hers for years, and I like her menus. Her menus, her newest menus in particular, have that same sort of comfort food quality, classic dishes, and I think that's a great formula that can always work.
So you are Cindy Paulson is the chef, the executive chef, huh?
Right. She brought the restaurant to the new restaurant to the aquarium. She originally opened. She had a Fog City Diner in San Francisco and Mustards in Napa.
Mustards.
So
But
I've
Mustard
followed
was,
for many years.
belonged to the guys from the Real Grill, no?
At
one time.
This goes way back.
Way back,
But
and
she has a great track record of, and especially building menus that really appeal to people, and I like that model.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to have her on my show.
Yeah, she's
but
terrific.
I can't get in touch with her. I mean, she's
Yeah.
always very busy.
Yeah,
Very
she's,
busy person.
she's got a lot of things going on.
She doesn't work too much at the aquarium. She has other chefs.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. But
So-
it's a good menu. It's definitely her menu. I feel
Right,
like it's
yeah.
got her things
So
on there.
I'd love to have her here someday, so we can chat just like you and I were doing this.
Yes.
Thing. Tell me, what was your best moments in the restaurant business that you enjoy the best now that you're, a food restaurateur and you have so many doors, so many doors to go. You have 3-4 restaurants going at the same time, so you're a very busy person.
I've been very fortunate to work with really talented people over the
Right.
years. From Pebble Beach, Pierre Bain is a local legend, and to work with him when I did in my formative years as a young guy was great, and I still someone who I absolutely admire and look up to these days. And the years with John Pisto, he's a tremendously talented chef,
Right.
and not a lot of people know just to what extent that talent goes. And I was able to work on so many different projects with him, not only redoing restaurants and new things, but he was always traveling and coming back with new ideas and always willing to try something new. He's like a fountain of ideas, just all the time.
When you travel, you learn.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Exposed
it's
to different
there.
things.
It's there. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you changed it a little bit, and then it's your idea.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's traveling. It is an experience, and it's the school there to go and learn
That's
from
right.
other chefs and their techniques, and then you change it to your own technique. So you
Exactly.
can bring out the.
It was
better food.
a lot of Mediterranean influence. He would always come back to that. And I was also I did a semester of college in Paris in 1979 when I was 19 years old, and that was a big change for me.
Was that Cordon Bleu or the Escoffier?
Actually, it was called the American College in Paris.
Oh, I
was a
see.
Fine arts
I didn't
major,
know that.
and they had a new fine arts program, so I was able to do a semester there and exposed to so many things at that age. It really changed my life and propelled me coming back to want to do more things, particularly pursue a career in restaurants.
The restaurant business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Paris is an incredible city to learn, and of course full of art and full of other things.
Yeah, we couldn't do enough. We would spend all hours a night walking through the city, exploring new things, finding out where locals went, going to those places. And as you said, the art, the history.
It's incredible. I mean, every turn it's a masterpiece. I mean, the Tuileries, the Louvre, all of those places there are incredible. I've been back in those areas that to learn a little bit in my holidays. I used to knock doors,
Yeah, even my apartment was over the top of a bakery. So every morning
Oh,
they're
that
putting out sheets of croque monsieur.
I had a hotel that I used to live in that I found on the second arrondissement, on the right bank, which is close to the Rivoli and close to the American, close to the American Express office and the Opera House, called the Opera Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a balcony, and there was a bakery downstairs. Oh my God, the aromas that came out of that was beautiful. I mean,
pick something up on the way to the subway every morning. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to walk. I mean, I love to walk,
Yeah.
and I love to go up there and trying to grab some kind of restaurant that I would like to learn more, which I learned. I went to work a little bit at the Taillevon. Remember the Taillevon?
Oh yes.
The Taillevon is a very
Legendary
great,
place.
legendary place of seafood.
Right.
The bouillabaisse, white bouillabaisse. It's incredible.
Yeah.
You know, I used to go there on vacation and work a little bit, and then later on, I work at the what's it called, this place? I didn't work there. I went for a vacation, and I went to the George Sank
Oh, yes.
for to eat, and that was the same chef that it was at Tayavon. We are going to continue talking more and more about this right after this message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Alberto's restaurant. Come on in. At Alberto's, you will have a new experience at great Italian dining. We have fantastic pasta dishes like fettuccine alfredo and eggplant parmesan, and you have to come in and try the chicken marsala and the calamari con limone. I take great pride in everything I prepare, and I know you will love it. And what's dinner without a little wine? At Alberto's, we have a great selection of wines to go with your dinner.
Alberto's Restaurante in Pacific Grove.
Come and see us tonight. Salud. Salud.
Do you have odors and dampness in your basement and crawl space? An unhealthy home begins with problems in damp, poorly ventilated areas. The conditions down below nurture molds, dust mites, and result in a buildup of gases and pollutants that can cause serious illnesses, like asthma, emphysema, and some cancers. The pollutants work their way up to your living quarters, infecting your entire home. Wave ventilation for moisture control and air quality can solve this problem. The unit's unique technology is designed to replace the damp, stale, polluted air with dry, fresh air and maintain a healthy, comfortable environment all year round. Unlike dehumidifiers, there's no buckets of water or filters, and it costs about $3 a month in electricity. Protect your home and family. Get to the source of the problem with Wave Ventilation. Call now. Make Wave Ventilation your answer to healthy living. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hello there. Thank you for joining us. We're talking to restaurateur of the Beach House, which is our best restaurant in the area. So we're talking about, his menu and all of the great things that are happening right now in the Pacific Grove area. So remember, Pacific Grove is the place to come. So you have great wine list too. I hear that you have your wine list is very good.
We started the wine list with the idea that it would evolve from day one, and it represents mostly local wines.
Right.
And a lot of names that people know, and good value there as well. And it's already in the process of evolving. My son, Jeremy, is the restaurant general manager, and he's overseeing the beverage program. And he just gave me a whole wish list of wines he wants to add right away. So we're working through that. So there's new things coming all the time.
Great. So
along with a very, very good wine by the glass program that's changing a lot.
All the California wines?
Yes.
And I hear they're very good price.
That's right. The value is important.
There you go. Yes, indeed. Because you have a good value. You also have a early dinner, right?
Yes, we call it the Sunset Supper. It's been very popular right from the start. There's 8 entrees, all under $10. You also get
How about that? You hear that?
a glass of wine or a draft beer for $2.90, and you can add a super salad for $2.90. And we get a capacity crowd every day for that. It's from 4 to 6. Have to be seated by 5:30, but it's the best time to be in the restaurant because the view is the best at that time.
The views is just so one of the best bargains in town is to go to the Beach House and enjoy a great dinner, early dinner, of course.
Yes.
So tell us more about your experience with the pistol time that you had at the what is it called, the Abalonetti?
Abalonetti, Domenico's, Paradiso, and the whaling station.
Did you work in all of them?
I did.
You were in Paradiso. You changed the menus. Were you
That's
in
right.
charge of menus and wines and everything?
Right. There was 3 partners, John, myself, and a chef named Nate Udomsry, who was with John for, more than 20 years. And we worked every day together on trying to see what we could do a little better or introduce something new of interest. And it was a lot of fun doing business in Cannery Row and on the wharf. There's always something going on. And it's a great opportunity to try new things because there's always people to expose them to it.
Especially in that area, it's fantastic. You have people walking, by the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What about the bathhouse? Did you get, the beach house, sorry. The beach house, you get the same public, actually.
Yeah, it's been almost exclusively locals. We haven't done a lot to market the restaurant beyond our neighborhood with the bed and breakfast. We haven't gone out with a
Well,
lot
there's no
with
need.
hotels.
I mean,
Well, we built it. Inside we call it a restaurant that's built by locals for locals.
Right.
Our early menu was really designed to appeal to locals. A lot of the folks that live right nearby, and they've responded. And we have already a lot of regulars that are there multiple times per week. The idea behind the Beach House program was something that could appeal to people on sort of three different levels. One that want a great value early, which we have, and then people that want a more dining experience later with multiple courses and great bottles of wine. We have that, and then there's the folks who live nearby who think, well, just come down and get a glass of wine and
sit at the bar
something
and
to eat, sit at
enjoy
the
the
bar.
view.
And they drop in on us, and so that's happening.
You had
It's
no
not just
objection of
special
them
occasion.
to come in and have a glass of wine and
Not at
enjoy
all,
get
no.
an appetizer?
No, as long as there's room.
Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's been
Everybody likes
challenging.
to have that problem.
The early time is challenging. There's big crowds there every
Sure
night,
is,
but
yeah.
it's a lot of fun, and we work very hard to work everybody in that comes down.
What about the elevator? Is that, you ever used it?
Oh, it's it gets a lot of use.
Really?
It's been a tremendous asset. It gets a lot of use. In
Really?
fact, I had to redo signs and make custom-made signs to explain how to operate it, so people could understand easier how to make it work. It's actually a lift, not an elevator. So it instead of just punching the button, you have to hold the button, and that throws people up. But it gets a lot of use.
Really?
It
I mean,
does.
even people who have no wheelchairs or anything like that, they use
That's right.
it.
Folks with walkers or canes or
They-
just
they go out,
need a
they don't
lift.
want to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's been a tremendous asset.
Where did you find that?
It was installed as part of what's called the Shell Project, which is the rebuilding of the main part of the building. And because the building was under such scrutiny with ADA, that there was a couple different studies done how to facilitate it with a big switchback ramp system. But the lift became the best way to do it.
To do it.
Yeah, it's worked out very well.
So it took time to find that out, or to find that.
Yeah, everything
lift
about
or
the project took a
elevator?
lot of time.
That was the very first thing.
Yeah,
you
that
were-
was in the
you
plans
were
from the
concerned
beginning. Yes,
to have an elevator there.
yes,
But
absolutely.
that's actually was not your responsibility when you took over the lease. It was
That's right.
the city's responsibility.
Well, actually, no. There's a developer by the name of Robert Ania, and he gets
Right.
a lot of credit. He did all the heavy lifting with the Coastal Commission, the city. He put in several years on this project. As we know, another group was going to put the restaurant in there. When they pulled out of the project, we came in really right at the 11th hour. Otherwise, the building would still be sitting the way it was.
Oh boy,
They needed a tenant to come in and put the restaurant together, and that's what we did.
it took a long time to
Took a year.
negotiate.
That's right. It took a year longer than originally thought. The sign's still in the basement that said we were opening June of 2012, but it ended up being June of 2013. But it's been a great experience building it. We're very happy. The city of Pacific Grove, couldn't be more supportive. They've just been terrific. Everybody, from the mayor on down, staff, everybody,
Mayor, nice
so
man.
supportive. Yeah, they've been terrific.
Mayor was one of my first guests here
Oh.
in the Alberto's. Now, what did you do downstairs? They had like a small, wine room and things like that in the office?
Yeah, there originally was going to be 3 tenants in the building, and so we took the main basement space, about 800 square feet, and added it on for storage for the restaurant.
Yes.
Because we plan to do larger events and need space for catering, supplies, that sort of thing. We took that, and then the other space has been designated as sort of a vague services for the public area. We have that under construction right now with plans developing for its use, and that's an ongoing project that we don't have a set timeline for.
So you're thinking of perhaps doing some burgers there, or hot dogs?
Well, we can't really say yet.
It
The
might
Coastal
be.
Commission's involved. There's use permits. There's lots of things involved. It's under development. But there are also beautiful new public restrooms that are in the
that
building
you provided.
that we are maintaining.
The one there
By the new pool,
Oh, I
which
didn't-
we were very proud to be a part of getting that new pool opened up. It opened the same weekend as the beach house.
Couldn't you use that? Can you cover the pool sometimes when you have a big banquet and put some kind of a platforms in there so you can have a?
Not currently. In
you
fact,
did, maybe you could.
the program
that?
for the pool has been changing and evolving, and I spoke to Don Mothershead with the city, Pacific Grove, manages the pool, and he told me yesterday that it probably is not going to be open again until spring. So we'll have to wait and see what
Maybe put
develops.
some nice platforms on top of those and you have a
Be
banquet.
great. It's a beautiful space.
It sure is.
It's a beautiful
I
space.
mean, it's right next to you. Why not talk about it and have some banquets there.
Yeah.
You can accommodate about 200-300 people.
Do you have an
there.
influence over there? Can you help us get that done?
Nobody. I'm nobody there. I'm just trying to get some ideas because that place is incredible. You got so many other things. You're not finished yet.
No, we feel like
with
we're
your dream.
just getting started. The focus right now is the restaurant. It's been open 4 months now. I feel it's really coming together. The chefs, we've got everything going.
Are you now
very, very well
together with the kitchen and all
Yes.
that? Because it's the very first thing is to get used to that.
Yes, it is.
Kitchen and,
It was entirely new. Everything's
yeah,
new.
yeah.
New menu, new kitchen, new staff. We have a wonderful front of the house staff too.
Right.
There's some tremendously talented people working in
Really
the front.
good.
Yeah, great bartenders. The servers are all terrific people, and I guarantee you, every one of them is there to take the best care of our
That's
guests
good.
they
Well,
can.
yeah, they're proud to work for you there.
It's been great. It's been a great experience.
Yes, they all talk good about you. Kathleen, one of your waitresses, she tells me that she worked for you at the Paradiso.
That's right.
Kathleen Darrigan. Kathleen, say hello. Yes, she
A
mentioned
long
it.
time ago. That's right.
Yeah, a very nice lady.
Yeah.
She worked for me too. Yeah, and then she went
Oh.
to San Francisco.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes,
That's right.
she's a nice person.
Terrific.
So, tell us more about your career. I mean, what you actually wanted to be a restaurateur, or before that, or what
I originally planned
You
to.
mentioned you went to school.
Yeah, I planned on
Paris.
a hotel career actually, and so I was working as a food and beverage director at Carmel Valley Ranch when I was approached about becoming a general manager. And the company that owned the hotel at the time had hotels other places in Phoenix and in the East Coast, and I thought that might be a way to develop a career, was be a food and beverage director in bigger hotels. But I never really thought about being a hotel manager. It was different from that's when I decided to make the change. And I was getting calls from headhunters who were telling me that the most valuable people had experience in hotel, food and beverage, and independent restaurants. They're very different environments.
I work in the hotels, and I love the hotel business. I think that that the ranch is very small, but I mean, I used to, because of my experience with my customers, I used to bring them as my guests, and I said, stay here for 2 days. Or I have a friend of mine, George Hamilton, and he says, why don't you open the door, put yourself, get the uniform, open the door for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Why
fun.
not? Or be a waiter or a captain for 10 minutes. And then you grab the towel. And madam,
Great tan, right?
So we have fun, and people, believe it or not, we had at the Beverly Hilton, we had the Scofier Room, which is one of the incredible restaurants I ever seen, that I ever worked for. It was better than the Scofier in itself. The office was full of trophies. It was at the top of the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills. The food was unbelievable. And we had a dance floor in there that you could dance. And, the Beverly Hills old ladies, they would come in and dance. They loved it. And they pay a very good price. I remember one time when my boss said to me, he says, are you going to open that place? I said, we want a place that close. I said, why? Everybody loves that. Kokorian used to come in there. All the biggest people in the world would come in there. Why do you want to do that? They were my following from other restaurants. I said, why? He says, nobody likes to get dressed anymore. They don't like that. I said, they do.
Yeah.
They do, and the prices there were horrendous. But still they would do. They had a team of 6. There were 6 teams, one back and one front, and a captain, and a sommelier for every station. So the service was immaculate. I mean, everything was perfect, in there to work in there. And the knowledge of everything is, they used to do Dover soles right in front of you,
Right.
and steak Dianes,
Yeah.
and crepes sets, and all of that stuff. But people adore that. To still have that, if they come back again into the old food and the old school, people love to have that in front of you. Say, I have some crepes sets. Well, I have this and that. And the steak Diane was very popular,
That's right.
in those days. I mean, all those kind of old school food, I'd love to have it back.
Yeah, the old Club 19 menu was a lot of that.
A lot of
Beef
that.
Wellington, Chateaubriand, with duck carved table side,
there you
all
go.
those
The
things.
Chateaubriand
a lot
especially.
of that. Rack of lamb. It was very
The
popular.
rack, boom, boom. It's the same with all the nice veggies
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. And people love that.
Yeah.
To have it carved, but have it work right in front of you, in your table.
Don't see that much anymore.
Why? I don't understand
Yeah.
why. And I'm going back to the story with my old boss. He used to say, "Well, you're not going to have anything. New Year's is approaching, and it's going to be open." Oh, you got to be kidding! Nobody's going to show up. Yet they will. $385 per person
Wow.
with open bar. Though, you know that nobody drank anything. We give of course champagne and vodka and or the station where the dance floor was a big station for caviar with all kinds of bottles of vodka. They loved that. They had 2 or 3 shots and they went back to the table. They ate all that with two or three different wines.
Wow.
They loved it.
Got to make it till midnight.
They loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
we had people waiting, which they couldn't make it. They couldn't make it.
We started to see the big change when I was at Carmel Valley Ranch I think it was around 1990. We required jackets in the dining room, and so we had a whole bunch of them to loan to people who didn't bring them. But we saw people not only didn't bring them, but they would just leave.
Oh, really?
They would
They
just
didn't
leave.
like it.
They didn't want it.
were
They didn't want
offended.
it. They didn't bring one. They didn't want it, and they would just leave. And there was a gentleman named Tameen. He's opening.
Tamir.
Tamir, restaurant in Pacific Grove.
He worked there?
He was the maitre d' at the Covey, and we were talking at the time because he was experiencing the same problem at Quail Lodge, where the people didn't want to wear a jacket, and so we both dropped the jacket requirement at the same time at Carmel Valley Ranch and the.
Well, it
and
makes
Covey,
sense in this area.
as it just couldn't enforce it
Beverly
anymore.
Hills, we got Trader Vic's. Remember Trader Vic's?
Sure.
We gave them the jackets, the Schofield jackets.
Right.
And all that. I mean, you could see that you needed that. But, I mean, people used to take them with them home.
Or they just put on the back of the chair. So what was the point?
Right, yeah, and they take it off.
Oh, you mentioned New Year's Eve. That was another one we saw. The same time frame where we used to have big parties right at midnight with a countdown and pop champagne. And then all of a sudden, around 1990, 91, by 10 o'clock, everybody was gone. Everybody went home.
It's incredible that, we're going to continue talking more and more about these old parties that we used to have at the Beverly Hilton and your places, perhaps at the lodge, right after this message. Hello, welcome to Alberto's restaurant. Come on in. At Alberto's, you will have a new experience at great Italian dining. We have fantastic pasta dishes like fettuccine alfredo and eggplant parmesan, and you have to come in and try the chicken marsala and the calamari con limone. I take great pride in everything I prepare, and I know you will love it. And what's dinner without a little wine? At Alberto's, we have a great selection of wines to go with your dinner.
Alberto's Restaurante in Pacific Grove.
Come and see us tonight. Salud.
Salud. How can you get a crispy restaurant tortilla bowl, but without frying it in oil, grease, and fat?
Just do what I do. Hi, Mark Gill here with the perfect tortilla pan. The fast, easy way to shape, bake, and create delicious tortilla bowls. Place any tortilla into the non-stick pan, pop it in the oven, and in just 5 minutes, perfect tortilla bowls that are always golden and crispy. Fill them with steak and peppers for a crunchy fajita bowl. Perfect Tortilla Pan's exclusive design works with all tortilla sizes, forming a deep-shaped edible bowl. Plus, it's all dishwasher safe. We'll send you not 1, but 2 for just $10. Call right this minute and we'll double your order free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Every caller today will receive our cutting cup to slice, dice, chop, mince, and measure as it cuts. Yep, you get it all for just $10.
To order Perfect Tortilla for $10 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-292-0574 or order online at buyperfecttortilla.com.
Hello there, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about great ideas for soufflés, perhaps at the beach house. So remember that you want to have a great soufflé with chocolate and Grand Marnier and maybe gorgonzola cheese. Maybe in the future you will find that at the beach house. We're talking about general manager, owner of the beach house, Mr. Kevin Phillips. Mr. Phillips, great coming again to our show, and we're delighted to have you here and talking about all kinds of your great adventures in the restaurant business and talking about the Carmel Valley Ranch, which I used to play tennis a lot in there. That now I don't play tennis there.
It was a wonderful resort, and when we opened it in 87 with hand-painted china, I mean, the finest of everything. And the gentleman that built it, Jerry Barton, he used to say there was an unlimited budget, and we exceeded it.
Oh, jeez.
And it was an amazing place when it opened. Really great.
I like the bar that
experience.
they had in there. The great bar, great atmosphere.
It's a beautiful atmosphere up there.
But they never,
It was hard, in the first almost 2 years, they didn't let the public into the restaurant. It was only for hotel guests and members of the club, and that didn't work.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake.
People still think it's private because it was private for the first couple of years.
But that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, because I used to go there, but it was lonely. There was nobody there, And then I went downstairs to kind of a coffee shop. It's not a coffee shop. We had a coffee shop downstairs where the tennis courts are.
Mm-hmm.
And that was eliminated because, as you know, there's not that many people.
Yeah, what we did at the time to keep it going was we opened a door on the backside of that little restaurant and served golfers that were coming by.
Right, yeah.
And that really helped.
I like
for a
that
while.
because we were having a little salad or something like
Yeah.
that after you play
So
tennis.
it kind of took some sales away from the golf club, but it
boy.
was fun for a while because it worked at first when we.
Yeah,
did
it does. It does work. But I mean, we had to eat something in there.
Well, golf is different from tennis in that people eat before, during, and after they play golf. It just food and beverage goes with golf.
Right. Yeah.
Very very well. At tennis, was running the tennis little grill down there. They fresh fruit, water, and things. It was lighter things.
Well, you didn't want to
salads.
eat too much before you go to play.
Before or after usually.
Yeah, yeah. Well, kind of, yeah. I love to play tennis there, but I mean, it's just they changed owners so often.
Right.
And they, what they did to that stadium court? They put a pool in it.
Really?
That's a $3 million place.
I haven't been there
I mean,
in a
the
while.
stadium was very, very big.
It was unique in the area.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why they do that.
Yeah.
Put a big pool in there for kids?
Probably gets a lot of use.
Yeah, but we had 3 pools in there. You have a small pool like right across, where the tennis shop was.
Right.
There's a pool. There's another pool where the clay courts are.
Yeah.
And there's another pool in the hotel.
The hotel, right?
And there's another pool on the right-hand side. There's a big pool there where the homes are.
Wow.
So it's 3 pools and then 1 pool upstairs. Why would you have that in there? I don't know. I don't see that. What kind of thinking is that to build something like that?
I guess you didn't have a vote, huh?
No, I'm just nobody there. I was. I mean, we just loved. We were there. I was there every day.
Yeah. Because the tennis club was the oldest part. The tennis club opened even before the golf club, right?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah,
But they
back in
great
the early
lockers,
80s.
great things, great facilities.
Yeah.
But the only time I was really not happy about it is because the clay courts, they allow dogs in there to go and destroy the clay. Make holes in it.
okay.
So that I didn't like that. You get into a bad problem, you can break your leg or something like that in there because you slide on the
Right.
course. So
Yeah.
that was it. But then they kind of started taking care of it. But for a year or so, there was nobody took care of the tennis courts.
Yeah.
They were all dirty, and then especially the clay courts. Anyways, how long were you there?
From 1987, with the opening, to 1995. And
Wow.
that's when I made the decision to try to get into independent restaurants rather
Right.
than the hotel. And that's when I really realized that's what I wanted to do.
You mentioned headhunters. I never heard of headhunters here
Yeah.
in the United States.
Recruiters.
Oh, they call
Yeah,
recruiters.
they were calling. They'll call. They would call me up, and they're offering a job somewhere, and see if there's any interest. And people in hotel business get a lot of calls from
Yes,
recruiters,
yes.
headhunters, we call them. And so that was where I realized that there was a different experience to be had. And when you're running a restaurant as opposed to being in a hotel, it's really where the rubber meets the road, because if there's a maintenance issue, if the buck stops here, I have to take care of it. I have to see it through. I don't have a maintenance department. I don't have a marketing department. It's all up to me.
Right.
And that's really what I love about it, because I feel very blessed, Alberto, because I never get up any day feel like I'm going to work.
Well,
I love it every day.
Every place is your house. You like some coffee, I want to eat a coffee over there. That's great. I do the same thing. I live in my place. It's my house, so
Yeah.
it is good. I had the same experience one time in London. A guy, headhunter, asked me to come to Madrid and talk to him about that. And he saw my resume, which is my profile, whatever. And he says, you're an Italian with an Italian cook, the experience and all that. He says, we have a hotel in Hong Kong. And he knew my experience in hotels. He says that he has the same, he has a big room. There's an Italian room with the best wines in the world, starting from Ronalayas and Toscans and all that. And you know all of that, and you know all the food, and you're being a chef. Yeah. He says, but at the time I was working in a hotel. And he says, why don't you, we have other people, but we kind of think if you should come there. I was very happy. Hong Kong, at the top of the,
Wow.
penthouse, incredible. He says, we have tennis facilities for you, too. So they knew I played tennis and all that, so great. So a few weeks later, I was a 5-star, there was a 3-star hotel, Selfridges in London, that this man had been British, was born in Hong Kong, and he spoke Chinese.
Wow.
that was it.
Yeah, geez. That was an advantage.
My dream was gone. They called me and said, well, I'm sorry. She said, that was an incredible thing
Yeah.
to be part of that hotel in Hong Kong. They had 1,200 rooms and 7 restaurants.
Wow.
But when you go into something like that, you don't work that much because you grab all your managers.
Right. You're
You know,
a real executive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go upstairs, like you always probably you do with your managers. You say, the best thing I want you to do this month is numbers.
Yeah.
Bring me numbers. I want those wine sales going up, food sales going up. And I'll see you drink your coffee and your pastry, and I'll see you next month. I don't see numbers. If you don't give me numbers, we have a lot of people that want your
Somebody
job.
else.
That's it. And we had all kinds of nice numbers, people are happy rather than being in a meeting for an hour, 2 hours when they should be doing something nice downstairs.
Yeah. One of the things I really enjoy too about the work is finding and acquiring talent. Because talent, to me, talent is those qualities you can't teach somebody.
Correct. Yeah.
You have to find them. If you're lucky, you find them. You mentioned Kathleen earlier, who you worked with and I worked with, and she's very talented.
But very hard to find.
That's right.
Very hard to find people that they're not only that they're talented, they're very hard to find that they're punctual, that they're responsible, and they come to work on time.
That's right. Those are talents also.
So what would you get something like that? It's very hard,
Yeah.
And nowadays people tell you what to do.
Yeah.
You say, well, I don't want to work here. Can I work this time? No.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to find talent. There's no talent here at all.
I'm very proud of my the staff at the beach house that we've acquired in a short period of time. We've had very little turnover. They work well together. I think we've instilled in them a good sense of how we want people taken care of, and that's the focus every day. If we take care of people, we take care of each other, then the business will take care of itself.
The team.
That's right.
Be a teamwork. No one experience. I have to teach them. I pay to teach, which should be the other way around, And I sometimes I get a little, but there's no wine. What's the cab? What's the Merlot? What's it come from? What's the grape? And then I get a little bit. What do you want? The tips? Oh, I know how to do the machine, and get my tips. Oh, look, I pay.
They know that, yeah.
Like that. But did you buff all the? Oh yeah, we have to do that. It's your job.
That's right.
All the mise en place and all that's yours.
Yeah.
You have to clear that, make that dining room nice and shiny. All the silverware and all that for your first customer, so you can see that it's nice and done. Nice.
You mentioned souffle before. Do you have a favorite souffle?
I have the as I mentioned the Escoffier. We used to do the half and half, the chocolate and Grand Marnier. Obviously, the Grand Marnier is my best.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
What do you think?
Well, we have co-executive chefs at the beach house. Guillaume Dienjou is the male part, and he was born in Italy and raised in France. Worked in Michelin-starred restaurants.
Oh.
And two of them in particular. One specialized in lobster, so he's always showing us new things to do with lobster. The other one was known for souffle. And the souffle were made from scratch to order. There was no pre-mix, nothing made. They had to make them to order. And he was just telling us last night that one night his boss had a group of 30, and he decided that it would be a great idea to do souffle for that whole group. So he had to very quickly whip up 30 souffles, which is a daunting task, as you know. So we're going to be introducing some souffle at the beach house at some point, not only with the dessert, but also the savory one, like you mentioned with the gorgonzola cheese. I know a lot of people haven't seen that, but you have a savory, maybe a cheese souffle with a little wine. It's wonderful, really wonderful. And then our other chef, Brianna Samet, she's a wonderfully talented young lady, highly educated, worked locally at some terrific places. And the two of them together, in fact, they're engaged to be married next year, are just terrific, bouncing ideas off of each other, taking input from everybody. And when I hired them, we got started, I told them that the collaboration was going to be a very important part of what we do, bringing in ideas and trying things and not being afraid for taking input.
Right. I'll show them to you first, and then you try them out. Like the cheeses and all that have to be perfect before they go out there.
That's right.
You should have that in the menu, a little menu.
Right.
And I always warn the customer that it takes half an hour.
That's right.
So by the time they get ready to have their coffee or no coffee at all, maybe a little espresso after that, have your souffle.
Relax and wait for it, sure.
And then a glass of wine together with it.
Yeah.
A nice cava, maybe some nice port.
We got that too.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
Sounds
an
good.
idea of having, your souffle with a nice, great glass of port.
Exactly.
That'll be good.
It's coming soon.
So you'll have me there soon too. I'll be there before that, though. But the souffles. I mean, cheese souffles. I love that. I mean, it's something that no one has actually seen here.
It's gone away a little bit. Another classic dessert I love is tarte tatin, and that was something that when it's made the old classic way.
Right. Old school.
It's an amazing dessert, but most people serve it sort of like as a tart or something. It's not really not the real thing.
I know. It's like yeah. I know. But in the meantime, we're going to talk more and more about the soufflés and other desserts coming to the beach house right after this message. Hello, welcome to Alberto's restaurant. Come on in. At Alberto's, you will have a new experience at great Italian dining. We have fantastic pasta dishes like fettuccine alfredo and eggplant parmesan, and you have to come in and try the chicken marsala and the calamari con limone. I take great pride in everything I prepare, and I know you will love it. And what's dinner without a little wine? At Alberto's, we have a great selection of wines to go with your dinner.
Alberto's Restaurante in Pacific Grove.
Come and see us tonight. Salud.
Salud. Anthony Sullivan here for the Edge of Glory, the best knife sharpener money can buy. It's so precise, it'll turn this plastic credit card into a precision cutting instrument. The Edge of Glory is no ordinary knife sharpener. Its jewel-hardened teeth hone any blade to a razor's edge that'll put the bite back into your dullest knife. It locks onto any smooth surface, then just draw the knife and that old knife is ready for more. We took this plastic credit card and tried to cut a tomato. Nothing happens, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's got an Edge of Glory that slices like magic. Call now and get the Edge of Glory for just $10.99. You'll also get a complete 3-piece knife set. They're a $20 value, yours free. But order now and you can double this entire offer. You get 2 Edge of Glories and 2 knife sets for $10.99. Order now and find out about free shipping.
Call 1-800-617-9159 and get your Edge of Glory. But hurry, we're giving away a special offer on a second Edge of Glory and the knives with today's orders. That's 1-800-617-9159. Call now.
Hello, thank you for coming back and joining us. We're talking about soufflés at the beach house. And maybe on mine too, you never know. So you can come over and enjoy a great soufflé, like we mentioned, a gorgonzola soufflé, and a Grand Marnier or chocolate soufflé very soon at the beach house. So we're trying to get you, they're trying to accommodate you one of the best soufflés, maybe a little port, a little cognac, and then you'll be happy.
And don't forget about your tiramisu, Alberto.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a great
favorite.
tiramisu. Yeah. Are you planning to make tiramisu in your place?
I don't know. We have 3 regular desserts we run every night right now. We do a mud pie, a chocolate pot de creme. It's sort of like a chocolate creme brulee, sort of, and a lemon tart. Those 3, they're all very we make everything in-house. And then we're expanding to do things like bread puddings, and we did a fresh peach crisp. And the chefs are expanding and doing other things to expand that and develop more desserts. So we run specials every night on the dessert
So you're always
side.
working with new ideas to bring out the new things into the beach house.
Yes.
So don't forget to visit that. What are you doing now for Thanksgiving? And are you going to be open for Thanksgiving?
We won't be open on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We close 2 days a year, which is complete family days for us, was Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day.
And Christmas Day you're closed. Yeah. You're closed, but you are open for every day
Every day at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
And we'll continue to evolve. Also, we'll have new things coming for the Sunset menu. We're going to start running specials on the Sunset menu, adding additional items. All the items on there now are all from the regular menu, at obviously greatly discounted price. But we're going to do that, and we're running specials. They're a lot of fun, like we're doing right now, a lamb shank, braised, red wine braised lamb shank.
Ossobuco style?
With which is a great fall dish. So we're starting to bring in things along that line and also more on the seafood. Brianna did her version of cioppino, the absolutely delicious sauce, and we had fun with that one. And this week we've had, of course, still beautiful halibut coming out of Alaska, and some other local fish, salmon, fresh salmon we can get it.
Great. Now, don't forget also that the Christmas season is approaching, so remember to book your parties early, like your Christmas parties and your office parties and birthdays and your girlfriend's birthday and your wife's birthday and all of that. Remember to book early at Alberto's, and also the beach house will have that great opportunity to enjoy great Christmas parties And how about New Year's Eve? Are you going to be open New Year's
We'll
Eve?
be open
the
New Year's
31st?
Eve. We hope to have a very celebratory night. If you call the restaurant, my wife Julie is also our office manager, one who loves your tiramisu, and she'll be happy to help you.
Thank you. Yeah. So you'll be able to be open on the 31st.
Yes.
So remember to book early. At Alberto's also will give you family dinners, any kind of party that you need. Book early because it's getting there. So restaurants will be full with parties, and hopefully you will enjoy a great meal and entertain yourself and treat yourself into a better parties into the beach house in Alberto's restaurant. So Mr. Kevin Phillips is telling us all his secrets about the soufflés, that he's going to do and prepare for you from scratch. Imagine that. So you have to order them earlier, like half hour early, right?
Probably, yes. But about the same time we order dinner, I think that's the way it'll work out.
Yeah, with a very nice glass of port. Or maybe cognac. You had some Armagnac, too.
Yes.
And they have it all, So we'll continue doing that and more. We're talking about more of our last minutes here in Alberto's Cuccina. And so you're having a great time of being a restaurateur. And you to work with all of the big people here.
It's been terrific. And now to bring a restaurant like this for the local folks and to see them enjoying it like they are and getting on to another great project in front of us on the wharf, I can't imagine anything better.
So when are you starting with this huge project?
Well, the city of Monterey has to approve the transfer of the master lease and should happen in the middle of next month. Okay. So by the end of November, we hope to be in there.
So you're talking about the lease? Is that belongs to the city also?
Right. The entire wharf is all it's
all city.
It's all master leases with the city.
So you're going to have a master lease of what the Rapids.
That's right. So they need to approve the transfer, and that's very technical, but that's happening, right?
So it'll be another 90 years or something like that before.
Yeah,
right.
Something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, we have 40 years at the beach house, so that's a good thing. 40.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but
beach house.
40 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Long time of fun.
Yeah,
yes.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yes, it's a great restaurant to visit, So any more things that you'd plan to do in the future? Like taking a vacation maybe?
Well, yeah, at some point. These are very exciting times. Launching the Beach House project, the new project on the wharf, and of course Abalonetti Bar and Grill, which we've done some nice upgrades there the last few years, rebuilding the building, building the largest waterfront patio on the wharf. We're getting ready to install some lights and heaters and a fire pit out there to improve the experience of being on the patio at Abalonetti. And so there's always something in front of us that we're doing. My partner, Jim Gilbert, one of the most important restaurateurs ever work in this area for over 50 years, owned restaurants in Salinas and still has restaurants in Santa Cruz. And is going to be 80 in December.
Wow.
And is the most amazing mind to be around for business, and especially with our business. It's a real treat and an honor for me and a pleasure to work with him every day as I do.
So he's just a good guy.
He's the best.
Yeah, so you have worked with him for quite a long time.
Yeah, well, I've known him since I first came to the wharf in 1996. And we've been working together since 2009 when I came in to take over the Abalonetti operation and help him do the improvements there.
Abalonetti, and now what they have this is another one, right? Another one that you.
The beach house, and then it'll be. He has other interests besides what we do together.
Well, the Abalonetti, but there's another restaurant that you own there. Oh, but it's gone. That one is gone, right?
Yeah, he has Gilbert's Red Snapper on the wharf.
Oh, yes.
Which is a 33-year lease that will end next summer.
Wow.
And that'll be over. They'll go back to the
so you don't want it anymore?
No. On to new things.
Rappas,
yeah.
Big time. It's like, yeah. And that's a big restaurant.
It's beautiful. It has a terrific space where we had to work out every square foot of the beach house to make it work.
Right.
This place has more space to work with, has more options.
Are you going to leave the bar the way it is? You're just going to leave it the way it is?
We're working with an architect now, looking at options, and it's going to be changed. It's going to be changed significantly at some point, but in stages. We don't plan to close it down or anything like that. It'll be done in stages. The improvements done. A lot of simple, obvious things done right away. Reworking the menu the way we want to do it, that sort of thing. Giving it a fresh start. And then there'll always be something more coming there.
So remember, you heard it first here at Alberto's La Cuccina. Now, maybe we'll bring out cameras when you're ready there.
Oh, that'd be great.
So when David and I would come there with the fresh new cameras, huh, Dave? And have a great time in your restaurant because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at your menu. You have some food, and you have some great vino. Yeah.
That's all about.
It's all about. You have a liquor license there.
Yes.
So there's no problem.
No, we have everything covered. Full bar, cocktail menu, local wines,
so
draft beer.
You're going to buy the same. You transfer the license.
We have to get a new one, but it's already.
Oh, you have to get a new one. Is it for you hard to get a new one, or?
No. No, and the advantage to working on a municipal property, same as at the beach house, is there's a special category of license available, and you can get it any time. Not only when certain times of the year, like when the lottery is open.
I got one in the lottery.
Did you? Yeah, we were going to do that for the other property, Lovers Point, but you're able to go and get a municipal license for only $6,000. What a deal.
I got number 6.
There you go.
Number 6 in the lotto in Los Angeles. I put that in Malibu.
Yeah.
That was great. That was an incredible gift from the ABC.
It is.
And
a lot of money.
Then you've gone we sold that for $50.
Yeah.
With the building, of course, with everything in there.
That's right.
With those days Orsini's in Malibu was incredible.
It's a great thing to have because it gives you all those options to bring to people.
Right. Yeah. Well, they want a little, especially in those days in the 80s, people wanted to have a little, zipped in the vodka, gin.
That's right. And 50 flavors of schnapps. Remember that?
Yeah. They did. Yeah. They loved that. They loved it. And the cappuccino. Oh, yeah. They wanted, the atomic cappuccino with the cognac.
Exactly.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. We used to have it. The Beach Boys and all the guys that used to live there in that area, Chicago,
wow,
Streisand, all those people that live in the area love to come in and have a little cocktail and enjoy great food. With me up there at Alberto's Orsini's. Yes, you ever been to Malibu at all? There?
I've been through there. I used to have relatives in Los Angeles, so I've been through there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I have not been there for a long time.
Where did the name Orsini's come from?
It was one of my uncle. It was named Orsini. And he used to work in the old times. He was an artist. The old times of Cesare Borgia. You go a long time in those days. And he belonged to the court, actually, to the Borgia times.
Okay.
If you ever saw that series of the Borgias.
Yes.
Orsini, Andrea Orsini was in there.
Right.
So, I honored him. I put that in there. And many of my customers in Malibu used to think that was because of Orsini's in New York. I said, no, this is another Orsini's. So then after a while, Mr. John, they had the Tonight Show, Johnny Carson will come by. He was a little skeptic. Then he just came back and more to Orsini's. We're having great people. We have Rod Steiger, we have Streisand, you name it.
Did you have pictures of them all on the wall there?
No, not at all. No, actually, I never like that. Actually, I never thought of the idea I would have had in those days to have a picture where it was Laurence Olivier. I never thought of that. I mean, he used to call me when I first met him. Natalie Wood brought him into my restaurant with the ex-husband or the husband then. And introduced the restaurant to Laurence Olivier. They were doing the running man. What was it called? The Marathon Man. With Sidney Beckerman, the producer, and he was one of the big stars in the show. And then after that, I didn't see Natalie for a while. Then after that, he came back by himself. And he'll call first for a reservation. He says, "Darling, will you have dinner with me?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I would go out, put another jacket, and have dinner with him. He was an incredible person. Yeah. That I should take a photograph at least. But no, in those days, I never thought of that, of having Sinatra take a picture with me. I do have things from Sinatra and things like that. But no, I didn't have that. I was I never thought of that, of taking a picture with people like that, like Sinatra or Natalie Wood especially.
Yeah, great memories though.
Oh, yes. And then talked with it for a long, long time. Shirley MacLaine, Neil Diamond. Yeah. God, I can go on and on. Don Rickles and all that stuff. It's beginning the time to say goodbye, and we're having a great, great time right now with Mr. Kevin Phillips. general manager, owner of the beach house. And hopefully we have one more time to have him here because we have so many stories and so many good things to tell. So remember, make your reservations at Alberto's La Bella Cuccina and enjoy yourself. Treat yourself well with a glass of wine. Tell him that Mr. Phillips sent you. He will buy you a glass of wine in Alberto's, okay? So please say hello to all of the people in Carmel. Bye, Duke. Bye, Laura. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Join us. Thank you. Yeah.